Hello.
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 Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earn beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds.
Step into my office.
Not going to be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
You! That's my name!
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing for your listening pleasure.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the High Fives Punk Rock Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and this is our annual year-end list episode. Another year has come and gone, and this one ended on some big changes for the old High Fives crew, which is why it's taking me a little bit to get this annual list out. I know you're probably saying, what the fuck, Mike, you can't put out a year-end list in the middle of January. But to that I say, why not? I got nothing else going on. I do feel like the actress that said Happy New Year to Larry David after the 3-day grace period. I'm totally aware of how stupid it is, but I've been in kind of a rut, and the idea of doing this episode felt so daunting and hard that I couldn't get it done. That being said, my ego has got the best of me, and here we are, recording an episode of Year End in January. One of the reasons I do this Year End episode is in hopes that it can highlight a band or an album for a listener or reader that hasn't heard that band before and then falls in love with it. These days, there's so many things that are released that it's hard to keep track of, even if you're on top of it every week. It's one of the things I love about year-end episodes and year-end lists, and it's always been something where I found an album or band or artist that was completely off my radar. So I hope that this list does that for you, at least one of you. If that's the case, then doing this is worth it. Now, if you've listened to any of these year-end episodes before, you'll most likely notice how hard it is for me to narrow down a list. It's always challenging, and this year was, of course, just as challenging. And one of the reasons this year was so challenging for myself was that there seemed to be a lot of EPs and singles that stuck in my head all year, and I didn't include them in my year-end list. There was also a number of off-brand albums that took up a lot of headspace. So this made it super difficult to come up with my year-end list. But I'll have lists on the website, highfives.ca, where you can find links to the bands and check these albums out. I also have put together a list of 200 songs that I was really into this year. It will be available via Spotify and Apple Music, and I will have links on our website. If you would prefer to do that, then listen to me babble about albums. Again, I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you find a band or an album you like. And on that note, let's start the list. Again, these aren't in any particular order, just the way that I wrote them down. Make sure you check them out. Yeah, I wish I had something clever and funny to say to kick this party off, but I'm not that clever. So let's start the list. First up is the album Heart-Shaped Eyes by No Tears. If you're familiar with the music of the infectious Swedish horror pop punk band The Dahmers, and you should be, then you're going to love this solo project from Kristoffer Carlsson. No Tears is a glossy power pop album filled with hooks in the vein of contemporary bands like the Speedways and the Whiffs. So if that's your sort of thing, make sure you check out No Tears. The song I went with is called Electric Eyes. Take a listen, and hope you enjoy it.
Before you'll turn to dust. Oh,
The Atom Age are back with their self-titled and 5th album. It's filled with garage-infused punk rock jams ready to jumpstart any playlist. And if you're looking to scratch that sort of itch, this album doesn't disappoint. Non-stop, jangly, aggressive punk rock. The Atom Age come out of the gates running with a great song called Honeybees, and that's the song I went with, and they don't let up for the rest of the album. So here you go, Atom Age, Honeybees. I think I brought this up at some point this year when talking about Grade 2, but I've always been reluctant to check them out because of the name of the band sounded so lazy. Like they couldn't choose grade, so they just added 2 to it. I mean, that's probably not the story at all, and thankfully I got past that and checked this album out. It might have been one of the albums that surprised me the most this year. This is probably simplistic, but the album is what I imagine Rancid sounding like if they grew up in the UK. I mean, you can hear and see Tim's fingerprints all over this release, and it works so well. It's catchy and hooky in all the ways you want a punk rock album to be. Just an all-around solid punk rock album that maybe we don't get enough of these days. And the song I went with is Midnight Fairy off their self-titled Grade 2.
to go down. Waiting for the sun to go down. Under the night sky, we can't see the stars, but in the city, we are up above until we come down and hit the dust of the midnight ferry home. We can't see the stars, we are up above and hit the dust of the midnight ferry home. The midnight ferry home. The midnight. The midnight ferry home.
So I figured it was time for some obligatory Aussie content on this podcast, and the band I picked is Beerwolf and their album Common Grief. It's the CanCon rule of high fives. You got to get some Aussie content. Jokes aside, this is a late one into my year-end repertoire, but since its release, I haven't been able to get enough of Common Grief. It's the kind of melodic hardcore that probably isn't hardcore enough for hardcore kids and not punk enough for punk kids, but rides that sweet spot for me. Just melodic enough to cross over into both worlds, and it's a great follow-up to their 2019 release, Year of the Dog. Check out Common Grief by Beerwolf and the song Dog's Way Home.
There's a road on the map and it's gotta go somewhere. We got a lot of cash, I think we were helping all along. No time for sympathy, no time for talking, middlemen, no time for words. There's a road on the map and it's gotta go somewhere. No change, reverence for 100 years. No respect for a bygone age. Taking the piss, breaking the past, we never had. Despite attempts to kill, still here. The truth is a thorn in the side of a brain. The threat is real. Still great, there's a road on the map going somewhere. No change, reverence for 100 years. No respect for a bygone age. Taking the piss, breaking the past, we never had. No change, reverence for 100 years. No respect for a bygone age. Taking the piss, breaking the past, we never had. What does it matter to us? A couple minutes a weekend. No signs, no past, no stories, nothing of value to hold. The heavy-handed progress came knocking this morning. No signs, no days, no stories, no past, no days old.
This next band I legit checked out because of the name and the album art. Calling yourself Captain Jazz and then having artwork with the American Football House on fire is a serious flex. They also have songs with titles like Simpsons 2 and The World is a Marketable Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Sell. I don't know a ton about this band other than that they're from Philadelphia and it may or may not be a solo project with guest musicians. I also can't tell if it's supposed to be a joke or an homage to the genre, or both. It might even be both. Either way, it works in a way that I wasn't expecting. And since discovering this album, it has been on repeat. If you're looking for some great screamo in 2024, I suggest giving Captain Jazz a listen. The song I picked is Nickelback Photograph off their self-titled. I had this album playing in my car one night, and my soon-to-be co-host, Justin, see what I did there, said, of course you like a band called Toilet Rats. And even though he was mocking me, he was right. I'd be lying to say that I didn't check this band out based solely on their name and their catchy artwork. And even though I hate rats like Indiana Jones hates snakes, I love Toilet Rats. Toilet Rats is a solo project out of Minneapolis, and I can best describe it as keyboard-laced punk rock. At times, it's new wavy post-punk, and at other times, it's very Ramones core. But it's all done in a way that isn't cheesy or lame. Sometimes a project like this can come off as goofy or as a joke, especially when there's horror movie elements to it, but you never get that feeling off this album. In fact, it's just a solid album front to back, and it's worth giving it a listen. The song I pick is called Walk the Earth, and I hope you like it and give Toilet Rats a chance. The band, not actual toilet rats. The actual idea of a toilet rat scares the hell out of me.
The plague has spread. We gotta make it dead. Steal a helicopter. Get out of the city. Hands on the wall. Replace our supplies. Get back to the chopper. If we wanna survive. What's going on? What's going
I've been a fan of this band ever since I saw them open for Nightbirds at the Palomino. Yeah, that's right. I went to a show. Laugh all you want, but it happened. Anyway, the band is Chain Whip, and they are from Vancouver, and they play a blend of old school punk and hardcore, reminiscent of the 80s. And it's the kind of band that reminds you of why you got into punk rock in the first place. It's probably because you were a little pissed off at life around you, and Call the Knife is a must check out for those days you just want to be a little aggro about the shitty world we sometimes live in. The song I picked is called Hate Wave, and here it is.
Stop that, guys, the best, don't hide your hate.
This next album was on my halfway through the year list, and it made the cut for the full year. The album is an in-your-face melodic punk rock album from a band called Brutal Youth out of Toronto. I can't remember what I said in the episode, but maybe go give it a listen, because I probably put a better spin on it then. If you haven't listened to the album before or Brutal Youth before, make sure you give it a go. They really hit their stride and put out a fantastic punk rock melodic hardcore album. Any band that can write a great song about wearing a Weird Al t-shirt is fucking ace in my books. JSM is a staple of the podcast, and for good reason. These local heroes are fucking awesome and keep getting better with each release. Something they somehow keep doing at an insane pace. I don't think they've slowed down in the last few years. Nobody Cares was kind of neat in that they slow released it digitally, even though you could get the LP, which is kind of an interesting way to tackle the digital era of music. Make sure you check out the album Nobody Cares by Julius Sumner Miller. And here's the song Goldfish, which I think you're going to enjoy.
Follow deaf ears, 'cause I'm full of run, which explain it all.
I'm sure you know by now how much I enjoy the Menzingers. If you don't, then I'm guessing you've never listened to this podcast. And if this is where you're starting, what the hell are you thinking? Go back and listen to a better episode. Some of it was true, is a little bit of a departure for the Menzingers, but I love it. They really dug into their Americana roots. But I mean, you can only write so many songs about drinking and playing basement shows and have it work for so long, especially when this is no longer your reality. I get the knocks on this album, but the more I listened to it, the more I enjoyed it. And at the heart of it, the Menzingers have always been able to transplant me in their songs with their lyrics and melody. Some of it was true, does this perfectly. Their world and emotions may be a little bit different for the Menzingers, but it still gets me there. So here's the Menzingers with Nobody Stays.
I've come to find the truth is left inside. There's a ghost rider, baby, you're an outsider. Rusted thread, a box drink to burn. I'm the ghost rider, baby, I'm an outsider. Nobody's there, no feelings final. Live in the question, there is no answer. Nobody's there, no feelings final. Live in the question, there is no answer. I've come to find the sky had lost its mind, and I can't find your name. Only your ghosts remain. Till it sleeps on the lucid dream, and I can't find your names. Only your ghosts remain. Nobody stays, no feelings final. Live in the question, there is no answer. Nobody stays, no feelings final. Live in the question, there is no answer. Nobody stays, no feelings final. 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 Nobody stays, no feelings final.
Up next is Tightwire with their album Head Full of Snakes. Sometimes you just need a simple, straightforward pop punk album. And Tightwire has written one hell of a infectious album. Head Full of Snakes is top-notch punk in the vein of Dillinger 4, Dear Landlord, and Banner Pilot. It's a wild ride from start to finish, and it's 19 minutes of pure enjoyment. Here's the song Anyone But You off Head Full of Snakes.
I don't know what you want, but I know it's not the same things. 'Cause I know what I want and I can see it's just not doing it for you. But I don't know what to do and I know you're tired of waiting. I know what I want and I can see it's just not doing it for you. But I don't know what to do and I know you're tired of waiting. Guess it's just a hard truth, but I can see it in your eyes and we are through. Wish I loved anyone but anyone. Wish I loved anyone but anyone. Wish I loved anyone but anyone. Wish I loved anyone but anyone but you. Anyone but you. Anyone but you.
This next album is the first of two slightly off-brand albums for this list. I mean, it is, but it also isn't. Rustin Kelly writes the kind of folk country that fits with any emo or indie rock writer. And listen, this guy even has an album of full emo band covers. So I think he fits the wheelhouse of this podcast. Anyway, The Weakness is one of those albums that just hit me hard all year. And at different times, different songs have just stuck with me. The title track, which is also the intro track, is an instant sing-along. Who doesn't want to shout along to "fuck that guy, he's just a piece of shit"? Because we all know there's a guy that's just a piece of shit. So, this is Rustin Kelly. The album's The Weakness, and the song is also The Weakness.
Have you been waiting here a long time? The traffic sucks on the north side. Did you order yet or should we wait? How are you doing? Are you okay? No matter what, I hope you don't forget. We don't give in to the weakness. We don't give in to the weakness. I woke up dreaming of her face again. I hate the way I miss her torment. I've come this far now, I can't forget. We don't give in to the weakness. And I just wanna lose control. I wanna fly like I've never flown. And I just wanna lose control. I wanna feel like I've never Fuck that guy, he's just a piece of shit. We don't give in to the weakness. Just let it go. We don't give in to the weakness. We don't give in to the weakness. We don't give in to
I guarantee you that's going to be stuck in your head for a while. Up next is the Gaslight Anthem and their album History Books. This is the first Gaslight Anthem album in ages. I'm not going to lie and pretend that I know how long it's been because I'm too lazy to look that up. but it's been a while, and man, it didn't disappoint. Much like the Menzingers album, I've read and heard mixed reviews about this album. But again, the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. I can see how some were looking for another 59 sound, and History Books is probably more in line with Brian Fallon's solo stuff if it had a little bit more bite. But I'm perfectly fine with that. Bands grow up, we grow up, and you can't just keep writing the same sort of album. Again, it's one of those albums that if you didn't love it after the first listen, I'd suggest going back with fresh ears and give it another shot. So here's Gaslight Anthem off History Books, and the song is Positive Charge.
Where did you go? I would say that to myself often, like I was dressing up for a coffin to lie down in. I can't say I know. I was overcome in the distance. I was lost in my own incidents in my mind. Were you calling to me from outside of a dream? I wanna live, I wanna love you a little longer. I was invincible many years ago when I was so much stronger. I wanna smile like a letter from an old friend. My arms are wide as oceans. How I miss you and feeling good to be alive. Wherever I go, there were whispers in the vestibules, reminders of my time with you on my own. It's hard to know when your mind declares a war on you, like the thoughts inside my skull would do, like I was blind. And I'm sure I saw the signs but didn't know. I wanna live, I wanna love you a little longer. I was invincible many years ago when I was so much stronger. I wanna smile like a letter from an old friend. My arms are open oceans. How I missed you and feeling good to be alive. I need a spark. I need a positive charge. Plug it into my veins. Make me love this life again. I need a spark. I need a positive charge. Plug it into my brain. Make me love my life again. I wanna live. I wanna love you a little longer. I was invincible many years ago when I was so much stronger. I wanna smile like a letter from an old friend. My arms are open oceans. How I missed you and feeling good to be alive. I miss you, how I miss you. Feeling good to be alive. I miss you, how I miss you. And it's good to be alive. I miss you, how I miss you. How I miss you, how I miss you. And it's good to be alive.
The next band on my list is Spanish Love Songs and their album No Joy. No Joy is the best way to describe listening to Spanish love songs. Never has a band made me feel so crappy about my life, but at the same time, make me feel like, wow, I guess it could always be way worse. And that's probably an oversimplification for Spanish love songs, but that's just how they hit me. No Joy seems to lean more into synths and a poppier sound than the previous efforts, and you can see shades of bands like The Killers seeping into their work. No Joy is one of those rare albums that is better as a full, complete album rather than a collection of singles. And that's something that often gets lost in this day's rapid consumption in the digital age. That being said, I went with the one that is most single-worthy, in my opinion, and that song is called Haunted. So here's Haunted off Spanish Love Song's great album, No Joy.
You pulled off the road so you could cry. It's too quiet in the suburbs. You searched your mind to try to find where the bottom really was. When you felt nothing but young in love, and they didn't love you in return. And that look that was in their eyes is a memory you burned. You sleep with the window open, and you hope the cold gets in your heart. But you're not haunted, you just miss everything. You're not a ghost, so stop disappearing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. There's another body in the McDonald's parking lot. The cops stand around like there's nothing to do. You start to worry that's what you look like when it catches up. But you're a stranger in your photos, melt into a drink with all your friends, and you're swallowed in a moment. The metaphor is meaningless, and you'll say, that's okay. That's okay, they never liked me anyway. But there's a killer in your heart. You're not haunted, you just miss everything. You're not a cautionary tale, so don't you vanish on me. You're losing weekends, and then the days will start to slide. You keep breaking all these habits, but you can't seem to get by. And you used to daydream about the things you do and say when you were famous. But now the plastic in your belly, it has you feeling all sorts of sick. You used to daydream, and you're not haunted. It's just the devil in your skin. It'll be this bleak forever, but it is a way to live. You're not alone, you just miss everything. And when you're feeling like a ghost, would you come haunt me, please come haunt me. Whoa. To that empty house, the silence from the street, your blanket in your seat, the nearly muted TV. There's no answer from you, and your phone blinks with my reply. It's that lump in my chest and my relief to hear you cry.
Up next is the second of my so-called quote-unquote off-brand album choices. But seriously, if you haven't at least heard about Boy Genius this year, where have you been? The supergroup of Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, and Julian Baker have been everywhere this year, and rightfully so. All three have amazing solo careers, and then they've put out this fucking record on top of it all. Seriously, like, it's genius. I'm not going to go on about it, but do yourself a favor and check the record out, and then hit up all their solo releases and side projects. But first, I guess you got to check out the song I picked, which is Not Strong Enough off Boy Genius's album, The Record.
Black hole opened in the kitchen. Every clock
And now for something completely different than Boy Genius, Pest Control and their album, Don't Test the Pest. Sometimes the artwork for an album is a great indicator of what an album is going to sound like. And when you have a bunch of cartoonish monster bugs disemboweling a human, I think you know what you might be getting. Don't Test the Pest is the debut full-length from Leeds UK's Pest Control, and it's the kind of crossover thrash album that exudes energy and attitude throughout the whole entire album. And it should appeal to fans of the genre, both old and new, with enough calls out to the past and the present to make it interesting. Here's the song Total Distraction off Don't Test the Pest. This next album shouldn't be as much of a departure as the Boy Genius to Pest Control was. Hardcore is a tricky genre for me. I can't really define what makes me like one band and not another. That isn't a knock on the genre at all, but for me, in hardcore, the tiniest things can make me love it or hate it. And I can't always define what that is. With Only Constant, Gel has hit that love button for me. There isn't a song on here that I get bored with. Everything feels new and real, if that sort of makes sense. Whether it's the in-your-face sound of Fortified or the mini intermission break, Calling Card, which features crowd-sourced submissions of fans voicing their frustrations with things like their jobs, toxic masculinity in the scene, and this is all looped over an instrumental. All of this works so well, and I can see why Gel is considered one of the best in the game right now. So that was Worn Down by Gel off their album Only Constant. Up next is a band that released a mixtape this year, but I'm not entirely sure why it's called a mixtape. Maybe someone else knows. I can't figure it out. Other than that, it's longer than an EP and maybe not as long as a full length. Sticking with what they do best, The Brightest Day may not have the excess of songs like Gammy Gang, but each one packs a punch filled with their signature style. This album came out just as summer hit, and it felt like it was a standard in my summer collection. The song I chose sums up the band in one song. So here's Few and Far Between off The Brightest Days by Origami Angel.
The only nice day comes in May. I guess that's the price I pay for living in this modern day Faraday cage where what you say is lost inside a storm of propaganda. Wasn't enough for the climate to change literally, but talk about politically. Each 4 years the new regimes release their worker bees in my hometown and run it straight into the ground. And I feel damned if I don't, and damned if I do, and damned if I can't find a side to choose. The damn in the swamp they built this town upon out for their revenge. 'Cause it's been raining the whole summer. The brightest days are few and far between. I've been crunching numbers to try to figure out what it could mean. And I wonder if anybody else can see the dark clouds hanging over me, raining down acidity and thoughts that won't leave. Since I can't make them fade away, I lock myself inside all day. Overcast my overlay from blue to dark gray. And I still say I love it here, behind clenched teeth and constant fear. 'Cause one day it'll disappear, and we all know that. We're fucking dead if we don't, and dead if we do, and dead if we can't find a side to choose. The damn in the swamp they built this town upon out for their revenge. 'Cause it's been raining the whole summer. The brightest days are few and far between. I've been crunching numbers to try to figure out what it could mean. When the brightest days are few and far between. Summer, the brightest days are few and far between. It's been raining the whole summer. The brightest days are few and far between. 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 Where are you, my sunny feeling I knew as a kid? Even on the brightest days, I can't see where you've been.
Both Nate and myself have spoke about this album for a chunk of the year on the podcast, so it should come as no surprise to see Lover's Lane show up on this list. I just love everything about this album. Lyrically and music-wise, they take from the classic Midwest emo bands, but blend it with the newer sound of bands like Hot Mulligan, and it works so well. From the moment I heard the song Wet Hot American Bummer, I knew I was going to dig this album, and I hope you feel the same. Here's Thanks I Hate It with the song Wet Hot American Bummer off their album Lover's Lane.
I asked him to book a show. I was hoping that he knows that he's my new dad now, so I won't have to say it out loud. He works there to pay the rent. He doesn't care about my band. It's all that emotion. He says we'll all just cut our wrists. We'll end up bleeding on the bar, and then he'll have to clean it up. Tim, I know your job is tough, but I'm your bar son, show some love. I'm your bar son, show some love. We're not as punk as you'd prefer. We're not as cool as circle jerks, but if you'd help me spread the word, you'll get the tips that you deserve. You'll get the tips that you deserve. You told her to go alone. I was crying on the phone. I got a new man now, and I dare you to count us out. While you were working on yourself, I was looking for some shelter and a little help. A little help. While you were picking at my bones, I found somewhere to call my home. To call home. I asked him to book a show. I was hoping that he knows that he's my new dad now, so I won't have to say it out loud. He works there to pay the rent. He doesn't care about my band. It's all that emotion. He said we'll all just cut our wrists. He says we'll all just cut our wrists.
Speaking of Hot Mulligan, they somehow put another great album out this year. Why would I watch continued their dominance in the genre of pop punk, whatever wave emo? I'm not sure I need to say much about Hot Mulligan because there's been a lot written and said about them already. I'm just going to let their music do the talking and let you be the judge. Here's the song called Gans Media Retro Games off the album Why Would I Watch by Hot Mulligan.
Was I the problem when all I thought was that I don't follow the pace of conversation? Oh, am I the problem? Letting inhibitions go. The first mistake was losing most of my self-control. Can't bite my tongue when I'm drunk. And here I thought it was the same for everyone. never leave. Am I just wild enough to ask?
Now to change it up a little bit. The first time I heard Final Gasp, I was convinced it was Samhain. And while there is clearly an element of Samhain Danzig worship, this isn't some cheesy cover band. Final Gasp takes the elements of Samhain that were great and ups the ante. They are a must listen for any fan of metal, hardcore, or potentially industrial. They are easily becoming one of the bands I get most excited to hear about. Here's the song Morning Moon off Morning Moon by Final Gasp. You know how sometimes you keep hearing about a band, about how great they are, how they might be the next big thing, and that sort of makes you want to dislike them because it feels like some sort of industry plant in your brain? Well, that's the way I kind of felt about Spiritual Cramp, and my guard was definitely up when I kept hearing about them. But I'm glad I went to listen to this album because I was super wrong about them. The hype is legit. What a great album. I can see how this band is worthy of all the hype machines surrounding them. It's everything I wanted bands like The Strokes and Franz Ferdinand to be, but they never were. Everything about this album feels like a hit, but not in the way that some studio executive decided it should be. This is a 10 out of 10 recommend. And while I could pick any of the songs because they all sound like singles, I went with Talking on the Internet. So here's Spiritual Cramp off their self-titled and Talking on the Internet. When I brought up the band Erection on one of my previous episodes, I got a response from one of our regular listeners saying their description of pussy penis power punk wasn't the selling point that I made it out to be. So this time around, I suggest just listening to Queendom and enjoying the German Outfits' glammy glam punk rock for what it is. Enjoy it. Ride the wave. Here's the song, Don't Piss on My Back, from Erection's Queendom.
If you want me back, you have to call me now. If you want me back, you have to call me now. If you want me back, you have to call me now. If you want me back, you have to call me now. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. I am the girl that I am, don't need your compliments. I am the girl that I am, I found my confidence. I am what I am and we're no longer friends. I am what I am, don't care about what you say. I am who I am, it no longer hurts. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't call me Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams. Don't piss on my back and tell me your dreams.
Here's another one from the halfway list. That has to be a record, right? 2 or 3 from the halfway list on this already? Well, I'm still in love with The Wailer, and everything Home Is Where has done with it. The Wailer puts Home Is Where's musical influence on display, merging emo's past and present into a modern-day screamo blueprint of what makes this genre so great. You can really feel the angst and pain with each note and each song on this album. Here's the song, Every Day Feels Like 9/11, from the album The Wailer by Home Is Where. Before I even say the next album, I'm going to interject with the inner monologue of what the hell? Another one off the halfway episode? Are you even trying anymore? Maybe not. And maybe for once I was so on top of it, my scatterbrain couldn't find an excuse to cut albums. Anyway, Vancouver's Night Court has stuck with me since this release, and it was an easy choice for our list. Heck, I could have easily used the EP they put out in late October. And if you haven't heard about Night Court, I suggest you check them out. All around, solid, great lo-fi, DIY punk rock of the CanCon variety from Vancouver. Here's Night Court with the song Garage Full of Secrets off their album Humans. Sticking with CanCon, I've discussed this a few times this year on the podcast, but Local Heroes Territories put out yet another fantastic album filled with solid hooks, sing-along choruses, and as always, impactful lyrics. It's great to see they haven't slowed down after all these years. I was stoked to see this pop up on so many year-end lists, and deservedly so. I went with Hometown Calling just because I love all the shout-outs to our hometown. Calgary and Alberta can be crummy because of the political landscape and maybe the weather. But we do have a lot of great things here, one of which being our music scene and some of the great venues, old and new, that get shout-outs in this song. So here's Territories with the song Hometown Calling off Colder Now. Wait, am I allowed to shout out a band from Edmonton right after one from Calgary? That's gotta be a faux pas. But how could I not give props to Homefront? This album has been on regular rotation since it came out. Homefront, if you aren't aware, are a post-punk band and have been earning all the hype surrounding them. Games of Power is a synth-filled post-punk masterpiece. And if you were wondering, there is just enough punk and hardcore in here to satisfy those needs. At times it feels like Homefront could soundtrack a John Hughes movie, and at the same time, you wouldn't feel out of place listening to it in the basement of a seedy punk rock club. Do yourself a favor and pick up Games of Power. Here's the song Overtime.
The good times feel so far to me, like little black dots hidden in my memory. So please remind me that all I need is sleep. I want is freedom, a little freedom that's all mine. So I look to my elders who say be patient, healing takes time. It's a little less all the time. It's a little less all the time. Maybe I keep lying because it comes so long. It's been a long, long time. It's a little less all the time. One foot in front of the other, keep running down this road alone. Am I running away towards a better version of myself? It's a mental freedom, a discipline you have to mind. A gift from my elders who say be patient, healing takes time. It's a little less all the time. It's a little less all the time. Maybe I keep lying because I've come so long. It's been a long, long time. It's a little less all the 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 time. Look a little less all the time. It's a little less all the time. It's a little less all the time.
Well, I've spoken about this album in the last 2 episodes, so I'm not sure what else I can say. If you are looking for a refresher, please go give those a listen. I guarantee the other episodes are better than this year-end one. And if you made it this far, you at least owe me that. Calling the Dogs has been one of those surprise albums for me. I didn't expect to like it, let alone love it as much as I did. Again, not a knock on the band or the fan base, but I always felt like I was probably too old to check out Citizen. But sometimes you got to give in and remember the kids are usually right about music. Anyway, Calling the Dogs is stellar, and you should probably give it a listen. Here's the song that sold me on it, and it's called If You're Lonely. Much like Hot Mulligan or Origami Angel, the catchy hooks and clever lyrics really made Palette Knife's new game a must-listen for fans of the genre. This is a solid emo album with pop-punk tendencies, and it's a concept album to top it all off, about getting hooked and lost in video games. This is a cool idea and probably relevant to a lot of folks these days. Well, maybe not to me, because I had to tap out of video games basically when GoldenEye came out, and I couldn't figure out how to stop walking into walls. And I've just slowly gotten worse at video games. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the album New Game by Palette Knife. Check it out. Here's the song Jelly Boy. It's a fantastic track, and I guarantee it'll get stuck in your head.
I wanna unlearn how to be alone. I want a body to absorb the snacks when stoned. I wanna fight someone till my lipstick's blood. I want a margarita and a PBR. I want plot armor of the thinnest steel and an off-screen romance with the movie deal. I don't have sex anymore. I don't feel sad anymore. Don't leave the house anymore. I have everything I need right here. But I just simply admire the way that you get up and paint over the walls. You shed your surroundings like a Russian doll. And I was talking to you 13 or 14 cities ago. You said you love a place where you don't feel at home, so I don't date anymore. I don't feel sad anymore. Don't leave the house anymore. I have everything I need right here. I don't feel sad anymore. 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 I don't feel sad anymore, 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 sad anymore. Someone to my lipsticks, but I want a margarita and a PBR. I want plot armor of the fittest steel and an off-screen romance with a movie deal. 'Cause all I've learned is that the only thing that changes during quarantine is the chemical makeup of my body as it relates to a ratio of water to yellowtail Chardonnay. Sometimes I get paranoid on the floor. My friends and family don't like me anymore. Completely irrational, but that would never stop me from disappearing 3 days at a time. I miss you, dude. Promise me you'll show me LA soon. I don't remember the things you're into, but tell me everything you're into now, and we can do that too.
And here we are at the end with my last pick. I spoke about this on the last episode. Sincere Engineer put out my favorite punk rock album of the year. They just write great punk rock, and I fucking love this band and this album. Everything about it is so good. I love the lyrics, the song structure. It's everything I want in an album these days. Sincere Engineer always makes me feel like they're singing about things I can relate to, even though I probably can't. I was lucky enough to see them with Nate when they opened for Hot Water Music. It was a short set. I hope that they decide to come through town once more so I can catch a longer set. Do yourself a favor, pick up Cheap Grills, easily one of the better punk rock albums in a long time. Here's Sincere Engineer and the song Fireplace.
I hate your guts, wouldn't even help if you were stuck in some guy's basement and he was getting ready to chop you up. And I hate your face, wouldn't even help you if he chased you down Belmont Ave and threw your body in his fireplace. I get high off the thought of you on fire. I don't know why, but it's true. You must be a special kind of stupid. You can't see all that you've ruined. I hate your brain. If you even got one, it's such a shame. You're gonna make a great fillet on a tray at the murderer's buffet. And I hate everything you say. You're such an asshole. Were you born that way? I don't know how you made it to this age, but now you're up in flames. I get high off the thought of you on fire. I don't know why, but it's true. You must be a special kind of stupid. You can't see all that you've ruined. How's your skin smell? I'll see you in hell. Maybe it'll change you and we'll get along well. But for now I find comfort in my mind, thinking about you inside the fireplace of that guy. I hate your guts, wouldn't even help if you were stuck in some guy's basement and he was getting ready to chop you up. I get high. I get high. I get high. I get high. I get high off the thought of you on fire. It makes me smile when I feel blue. All those shitty things you've done that I'll remember when he's coming after you.
Well, that's it. Thank you so much for listening to my top 30 for 2023. I hope you found an album or a band you're interested in checking out. Please support the bands and go see them live. Buy some merch, download their songs, buy an album, put it on a playlist. Any way you can. It's a hard game these days to be a musician or an artist, so please support the bands you love. Thank you again for listening. Thanks to the High Fives WhatsApp chat for always being supportive. Thank you for being patient. Thanks to Nate for the past few years of being a great co-host and partner in this. Thanks to Justin, who's filling in the next little while. Make sure you give us a listen, and I can't wait to hear your year-end list. If you haven't posted it, let us know, because I want to check them out. I want to see what you've been listening to and what you like. Check out our website at highfives.ca. On that website, there will be the list, plus my Spotify and Apple playlist with the 200 songs, if that's more your thing. Thank you again. Stay cool and be excellent to each other.